welcome to That Balloon Show. Keith's off today, but not to worry, we've got a special guest taking over. Stephanie is here to show some sparkly, stylish balloon designs using Prima's glitter sphere balloons. These beauties come with the glitter already inside, so there's no mess, just shine. And to top it off, we'll be adding personalisation with vinyl using the Silhouette Cameo machine. It's going to be fun, creative show, so let's get into it. But before that, there's this. Welcome back. All the space. What's this all about? Normally I'm over here and then we're elbowing. But no. All mine today over here. I claimed the corner. I did remember my coffee, which was good. Cheers, people. So yes, all about the glitter sphere this week. So instead of me just chit-chatting to myself, I'm going to have a little look in the workshop to see if our good friend of That Balloon Show, Miss Stephanie. I'm saying her name out in the hope, the hint, the kind of gentle nudge that we get her to smile. She's smiling on the inside now, but it's coming across as a bit of a grimace. Bless her, she's a little bit nervous, so you need to show your love in the chat. She's going to share with us some of the designs she's made and talk through, as she clears her throat, to talk through what she's been making in the studio this week. So I'm going to send the camera on over there. I'm going to join her really quickly so she's not on her own for very long. So 1 second. I can't run too fast though, Steph, because I'll have my coffee. I'll have my coffee in hand, and I need to put your microphone on. So say hi, people.
Hi, people.
Perfect. Yeah, your microphone is on. Right, and I shall see you in there.
Run really quick.
I'll run. I won't leave you for long. I promise. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's on you for like 32 seconds.
Okay.
Do you think you can entertain the audience?
Yeah, no, but I'll try.
Okay, I'll just fast walk. Here we go.
Fast walk.
I'll do it. I'm on my way.
You're
fine.
Quick enough.
Yeah, you held your own. You're great. Fantastic. Look at that. She managed, people. She did. Right. I've not seen anything in the chat yet. So either I've not turned the chat on. Did you turn the chat on?
No.
Jeez. She had one job. One job. So you know what? I'm just going to go and check it.
Be really quick.
I will. I'll totally be really quick. There's nothing there yet. So no one said hi, or I didn't turn it on properly. That's what it could be. Let's see. We're on. Yes, we've got the right one, and it is on. We just haven't had anybody say hi yet. That is all. So there's nothing to worry about. It was a false alarm. I left you on your own for no reason. It's like I did it on purpose.
It wasn't so bad. It was all right.
Right. Hey! Thank you for checking. Good morning. So you're obviously somewhere else in the world that's not here, because we're on the evening here.
Okay.
So yes. And hi, Rachel. Yes. Your comrade in arms there.
Yes,
look at that.
she's supporting me.
Making sure you're smiling. There'll be text messages after. Steph, don't forget to smile. You're fine. You're fine. Right.
It's moral support.
So, the balloon in question today is one of our firm favourites, our Prima sphere. And these are the glitter spheres. Why do we love these, Steph?
They're just amazing.
But specifically, why do we love them?
Because they've got glitter in them?
Inside. It's inside already. That's right, it's inside. I can't emphasise that enough, because the floor has got no glitter on it. The desk has got no glitter on it. I have got no glitter on me. That is how good this is.
It doesn't escape.
So we love that. We've got them in various different colours. We've got blue, silver, green, pink, rose gold, red, and gold. Cool. Then we also have, which you'll be using as well, some of our 10-inch and 20-inch printed glitter spheres as well. So these have got the glitter on the inside and then a print on the outside. So these are pre-printed. And then we've also got some where you've used the Cameo Silhouette to add your own personal touches on there as well. So really are pretty flexible in the fact that we do quite a few things with them. So loving that. Right. So which is the first one we're going to be doing? What's the first colour choice? Which one are you going to go for? Looking around. You're going to go for...
I think, do you think pink?
Yeah. Why not? So you're going to want pink. Let's move my stuff out the way.
It's like Barbie.
Look at that. So, what have we got here? Talk me through it.
Okay, so we've got 11-inch in bubble gum,
Lovely.
5-inch in ballet slipper.
Super.
Then we've got the 10-inch Love You.
So this is the pre-printed one, so glitter inside,
Glitter
print already
inside.
on the outside. Nice.
And this is the hot pink glitter one.
Yes, with the glitter inside it. And then you've done some personalisation on there as well. But as we've talked about the show before, is the print on these spheres is actually, it's like on the inside of that sphere. So you get a lovely shine on that. So it's really cool looking. So it's a really nice touch to it. And then the mixture of the textures by adding the vinyl on this one on the outside really changes the dimension of that and adds a sort of a different texture. So it really makes that, again, we don't like to use the word, but makes it pop on the outside of that sphere. So, have we got enough balloons with us to remake this so we can kind of give it a bit of a run through?
We do. Yep.
Does that sound like a plan?
Do you want
I
us
think
to
it
take
does.
this out?
I shall be the fantastically looking glamorous assistant to move that out of the way.
So I'm going to use the rose gold one.
Okay, so we're going to do the same design but mix up the colour.
Yeah.
Who knew you could do that, Steph? Who knew that these balloons are that versatile? So this is the rose gold glitter version there.
And I'm going to use Dusty Rose in 11-inch and white in 5-inch for this one.
Okay, so that's the 5-inch Prima white and the 11-inch Prima Dusty Rose. And one. Look at this for you.
So what, right, I'm going to do the latex first.
Okay.
And this, so the 11 inches size to 7 inches, which is 1.4 on the twin air sizer.
Okay, so for our machine here, 1.4 gets us to about the right size. Different countries, different areas, you might have a slight adjustment on that setting, but again, we're looking for consistency rather than an exact size.
Right.
It's like you've done that before. I shall stand to the side, drink my coffee and narrate.
Yeah, you narrate.
It's like a normal day.
I'll stay quiet.
We've got a hello and a good afternoon from Canada as well. Oh, Canada. All this whilst remembering to smile and breathe. That is multitasking at its best.
It's the breathing bit.
Yeah, I added that on not for joke or comedy value, but it's the truth.
Yeah, it's the truth.
It's breathe and smile.
I'm smiling, but that's just because I can't breathe.
It's lots of things, people. It's a lot of things.
So
I do like the Dusty Rose.
it's really lovely, isn't it?
I'll do that bit, come on.
Thank you.
Give me something to do. It's rather nice. How many?
Oh.
Yahtzee. How many of these layers we're doing?
3.
3 in total. I can count to 3. It's all good.
I have to get another one now.
I take it you didn't like that one.
I didn't like it. It wasn't working.
It happens. Super. And then what do we need after the 3 layers of the Dusty Rose?
So we are going to have the white 5-inch, 2 layers of it,
Okay.
size to 3.5,
Okay.
which is 0.3 on this twin air sizer.
And you want your the reducing nozzles. Easier to put the balloon on, but also adjust the sizing a little bit as well. So you can put the 5-inch latex on to the standard outlet of the twin air sizer. However, the sizing will be different to what you do normally with the nozzle. So just be aware of that if you, like me once, and try to shortcut it by not putting the nozzle on. It adjusts your size. And we're clustering these up the same, so we're going to have
Yeah.
a 4 balloon cluster. Lovely.
This one's stuck together.
And did you say it was 2 sets of these?
2 sets of these ones, yeah.
Lovely. This twin air size is Stephanie's best friend. She was a little bit upset the other day because she thought it was broken and had someone and, you know, spent some time looking at it to make sure it was all right. But indeed, it was fine. Just someone had turned it off.
I did almost cry. I was like, please.
So remember, folks, check the switches.
Thank you, don't eat right.
Right, what else do we need?
So we need some white inch dopplers. White 5-inch dopplers.
Right,
but I'm
okay.
going to do them after. I'm going to pop this together with decor.
So they're sort of accent pieces with the 5-inch. So it'll be a 5-inch balloon, sort of just different sizes.
Different, yeah.
Yep. Okay, gotcha.
On this one, I did them all the same size.
Okay, cool. Easy to do. So you're doing Dacron.
Yeah.
Nice strong connection. As we've talked about numerous times on the show, there's so many different ways to do things, whether it's using something like a 260, using neck to neck, or indeed the Dacron line. The Dacron is a strong, smooth finish, so it slides through the balloons really well, and it gives a really good, strong backbone to it, and which is very good when you're trying to create a structure base.
Keeps it nice and tight as
yes.
well, and that's what I want.
Neck to neck's fine sometimes, however, especially when you're trying to create a structure to put other things on, you find that the base moves a little bit on you, so you've got to do a little bit more work to get things to stay put. For a deliverable piece, you want that base to be nice and solid, so then as people move it yourself or deliver it and the customer has it, you want it to be strong and not have to kind of mess around with it too much. So adding the Dacron in for that does really add a value add.
Right, I'm going to put my sand weight in here, right in the middle.
Okay. Gotcha.
It evens it out nicely when it's in the middle.
So you can hide that in there.
I'm going to hide that in there now.
Put that like that. You tie that in, lovely. It's fine. Okay.
It's not.
We'll go for it.
I've burnt one.
No, I haven't got the strength.
I'll just do another
I'll use
cord.
the scissors instead of struggling.
Just want one?
Yeah. Unless I take another one out with the scissors, which I've been known to do. But Keith likes it when I do that. I've got to fix something and then break it.
Thank you.
Again, knowing your sizes is good, because then that way any little fixes, easy to do. You're not re-guessing and kind of going, oh, I've done that different this time. I lined that up wrong. Lovely. Good technique going through there as well, so it's just that finger of 8 on each of the layers, not overly wrapping it and not going back down and up again. You don't want to have multiple strings going through the middle, you want to keep it nice and tidy.
I'm just going to tie it off.
One single cord running through the centre of that is going to give it more than enough strength and also keep it nice and clean as well.
Let's do a double tie now.
Lovely. And again, you won't need to worry about the mechanics too much once you've tied that, because I'm assuming we're going to put something at the end as well just to hide that. Yep, great. Lovely.
Oh, we've got one.
It's always on the camera, people. Always on the camera. Have we done 2 when we've done that? Let's replace the 2, then that way I don't need to guess.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to guarantee I'm going to take this one out. Yeah, I got it. That was where the weight was. In you go. We'll just make sure I've locked that back in. Because you've got that Dacron though, it's got that solid tension still running through, so just by pushing that back in again, it's fitted and pushed it back into place. There you go.
Thank you.
Lovely. Right, so you've got the base.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to turn it
There we go.
in landscape mode.
I'm going to do the added bits right at the end.
Okay.
So I'm going to do...
Because they're kind of the filler bits anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you could start doing them now, but then you might not need them all and
Yeah.
kind of doing work you don't
sitting
need to
a little
do.
bit funny. Are we okay?
It'll sort itself out, no doubt.
Right.
Tend to find as soon as you put a camera on anything, it makes it twice as hard. So this is, if you want to show it to the camera as well, so we've got the sphere there, we've got the valve, so it's all sealed up, and then you've got this little pocket of a glitter sitting inside. No mess, no fuss. So just giving it a little stretch there as well. Just helps these spheres inflate to a better shape. And smile. There you go. Concentration. We all do it.
I almost forgot I was on camera there. Almost. And then you reminded me.
Now you switch that over to no timer function.
Yeah.
However, you could have also gone to 0.0 as well
Yeah.
and go that way. So whichever way works best for you. I do like the twin air sizer for this as well because it's of a lower speed but higher pressure. It has no issues inflating the spheres, so it really stretches them out nicely. It's not overly fast, like silly fast, that's kind of going to make it hard for you to put it on there and control the air going through the valve. But also, it gives that glitter a nice tumble on the inside, so it gives a really lovely,
covered.
even coat. Because normally, once you've inflated it, let's say you're using the hand pump, you might have to roll it round a little bit. Or if you use one of the more powerful electric inflators, it sort of just pushes it to the top and it stays there, where the twin air sizer does a great job. Steph doesn't always use the twin air sizer. She sometimes likes to struggle and use a hand pump and then be reminded about the machine we have sat there right in front of her and go, oh yeah.
I do like it. I do like to use the hand pump.
You can lead a horse to water.
Right. So I'm going to use a
Good
260
exercise, I
to tie
suppose.
this.
Right, okay,
So
yeah.
I'm just going to take the air out.
So it gives us a good elasticated tying point. It has a little bit of give on it, so when we put it onto the sphere valve, when we're tying it round there as well, it's not going to bind into that neck too much. So this is the roll-up technique that we've done with the foils in the past. So placing it onto the bottom of the valve, rolling it up to give us something to tie onto. It's also pushing that latex up out the way as well. So it just means that you're getting all your bang for the buck with that glitter on the inside. Lovely. It's a really nice colour match.
It's lovely.
That rose gold to the
It's lovely.
the dusty rose.
It goes nice. It is dusty rose, yeah.
Questioned myself there because it rolled off the tongue too easy. Therefore, I must have got it wrong. Yeah.
I was going to try and do it for the camera, but I'm going to just do it and then turn it around.
Okay. That sounds like a solid plan.
Right. So I've got
Lovely.
that one there. And I think I'm going to use the 10-inch printed one.
Okay.
The pink one.
Okay, so we've got the red with the glitter on the inside with the pink and white Love You, and then we have the white and pink Love You, which is a better colour print, and then the pink on the inside, although it's a bit more pink, it'll probably kind of soften up a little bit with the colours that's in this design there.
Yeah, I think it's going to go really nice together.
Yeah.
And then after, when we add some flowers in, we can put a mix of pink and white, so it's going to look...
Yeah, just balance
gonna
that
look
out a
good,
little bit. I like the idea. I do. I shall drink my coffee now before it goes cold.
It must be nice.
Steph's got several drinks over there because she couldn't decide what she was going to have before the show. Then decided to have nothing because she was too nervous.
Yeah. They're both over there.
Yet I'm sure you'll all agree she's doing fantastic. What's that, everyone? Yes, that's right. You should smile more.
These ones always go a little bit out of shape, but they're easy to
Yeah, just because
manipulate.
it's a much smaller volume,
Yeah.
it hasn't really got the chance to kind of even itself out as you inflate, but just squash it down.
It's easy
because
to-
we've got a nice smooth desk here as well. She's just using even pressure on the bottom of the valve and pushing that down just to round that off to give it a nicer, more aesthetically pleasing shape.
It goes lovely. I like that one.
Yeah, I agree. That was a good choice. We do have the spheres and the Prima spheres in the smaller sizes, non-glittered as well. So if you are wanting to do a particular design like this one, but we don't have the glitter version that's going to coordinate with what you're doing, that's fine. You can do a non-glitter version. You can add some vinyl on to mix it up a little bit. You could even take the valve out and put some confetti in or something as an option. I probably wouldn't go the glitter route because I like to have the glitter enclosed.
And it's very messy, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and this is just a great way of doing it without having that mess. But the confetti's not too messy. Or just kind of have a look at some of the other designs that we do. I mean, the smaller foils that we do in Prima as well. Some beautiful ones in there for coordination into design. But so many different versions that we can do with this style of design.
I don't know why it's not sitting right. It's not quite sitting.
This is the thing where we tell these guys all the time, right? You're not finished yet, so don't fuss with it.
Yeah.
Yes? Carry on assembling it. It will sort itself out as you go. Yeah? Otherwise, you'll spend forever and a day fixing it right now to get that 10-inch glittered sphere in, and you have it perfect. Then you'll add something else, then something else will move.
It's this way here.
It's the nature of the beast. It is a design that will have that happen. Okay, so just move that cluster into place, that one there, and then pop that up the top.
And of course it's going to be naughty now.
There you go.
There we go, lovely.
You
There.
were just overly worrying.
I know. Who? Me?
Who knew?
Right, there we go.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just going to bring the other one back in for a second, because this really does show the difference between the little added elements that you've done now. Okay, you've got essentially the same building blocks. We've got that latex on the base for the foundation.
Yep.
Then we've got our two spheres on, and they're both the same in that the scale's the same and the overall design's the same. What it's missing on the Dusty Rose one is the 5-inch little added elements and the flowers, and they really help to soften some of the edges and kind of fill in some of the gaps and just make it that much nicer, fuller piece. So those little finishing touches really do make a big difference. So there's just a really good opportunity to show the difference between the two, because it does make quite a difference. So we're going to go with some 5-inch,
some 5-inch
Prima
white.
white.
And I'm going to size these at 0.2, which is 3
Okay.
inches for these ones, just a tiny little bit smaller than the ones in the middle.
Great, okay. And you're just doing these the same size for nice and easy?
Yeah,
Yep.
straightforward.
And these are going to be clusters of?
There's going to be 2 on the front, which is 3,
Okay.
and the ones on the either side is going to be a 4.
Okay, because that fits the gap a bit better, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be. You can. I've done them with 3 on the sides, and it looks just as nice.
It's got a lot of flexibility, that, yeah. So you've gone back over to the timer pedal. So you've moved the pedal over, so it's got two connectors for that. In fact, with the twin air sizer 2, you do actually get 2 pedals, so you can have them both in operation all the time. I tend to only use one at a time because I get confused and press the wrong pedal at the wrong time. So I'll stick with the timer function always and then go to 0.0 for the manual time. Nice and simple, you see. Lovely. Again, you are pulling that latex down onto the machine, so it really inflates the end of that latex, so it has a nice, fuller, rounder shape and the better colouring to it as well. More noticeable when it's a day, 2 days, 3 days old. So when you first do any balloon, if you inflate it and you don't get it fully stretched on that top part of the balloon, it's quite forgiving on day 1 because it hasn't oxidised at all. But once it starts to oxidise, you'll really see the colour difference from the top where the bulk of the latex is to the side. So that's why it's really important to pull that balloon down, and when we inflate it, it stretches that top out there as well.
Yeah. So when I'm attaching these ones right on the front,
Okay.
I attach it with either side, so it's really loose.
Okay, so you're going to use a 260, but you're going to join it end to end, so you're going to create a double attachment point. So you're doing your knots off the base,
Yeah.
and then that way you can pull that into the design, and then
Yeah.
I like it.
Because I don't want it to snug in there, I just want it to be just sitting
Yes,
nicely.
and then you can position it. Yeah, you don't want to be pulling in too tight.
Yeah.
Because you can, in fact, you could. With the Prima latex, it has a really good long neck on it. So you could, if you wanted to, take that neck, stretch it, find a counterpart inside, and then attach it to it. But Means you're messing on in the middle of the base a bit more than we'd like to, but also it's going to be quite tight and fixed. Whereas the method Steph's using at the moment is creating that long attachment point between the two extra elements, and it means you can add it on dead easy, and it's got loads of movement as well, so you can kind of have a little bit of a play, but it doesn't disturb the main kind of piece of it, so that's good. Hello from Brazil.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do it this way. Put it in there. Does that look
Lovely.
okay?
So you're just locking that round. It's not a structural element, so you don't really have to overly kind of wrap that in.
I can twist it over if I didn't want it to fall out.
They're the kind of the anti-children pulling it apart twists they are, because this won't fall apart spontaneously. However, if it gets kind of played with by kids and pulling around on it, it may find its way out.
But I don't need to do that.
No, it's not essential, but it's...
I just want it to sit there nicely, wherever it wants to fall as well. Sometimes just looks better.
Yeah, those end ones are going to help stabilise the kind of the base for you there as well. Again, that's why we say don't mess with it until you finish, because it will sort itself out. They're good like that.
So this one's going to be in a 4.
Okay, so a cluster of 4, and these are going to be like the end caps, if you like. Hides the mechanics, adds a bit of balance to it, and looks nice. You know that thing you do with your face where it makes people look like you're happy? There we go.
I forget.
Oh.
It's not a natural look for me.
So we all do it. It's our concentration face. We're working away. Inside we're happy, getting on with what we're doing, but externally, the facade that's out there is either cross, angry, or several chins. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not saying Steph's got several chins.
I hope not several chins for me.
Full of the insults tonight.
Because I'll just never want to come back on camera.
She says that, but it's in the contract now.
Right, I'm gonna pull these ones in.
Because it's on the end, yeah.
It's nice and long.
You can attach that in, it's easy enough.
Yeah.
But you could, in fact, if you wanted to, do exactly the same technique of the 260 and then bring it in end to end if you wanted. However, this is adding a little bit of structure to this because it's been pulled in tight to the end, as opposed to the front one, which you're positioning out of where they would naturally sit.
Yeah.
So having that loose connection really works. Whereas these are going to sit plumb at the end there. So, hello from Houston. Hi, Houston. Look at that, you've got some good coverage there. We've got Canada, Brazil, Houston, somewhere else, and the UK. So now you can say officially, hi world.
Hi world.
There you go. Next time she'll do it with a smile.
I'm smiling behind the
yeah?
the sphere, yeah.
Oh yeah? I don't know. We'll have to watch the rerun for that. Lovely.
Nice. There we go.
Excellent. And then last bits, finishing touches for this one. What have we got?
So I've got some vinyl with my name on it.
Look at that. Just in case you forgot, people.
Right. So I'm going to pop this on, and then I've got some flowers to put in just to cover some of the gaps.
Okay.
And it just makes it look extra pretty, I think.
Excellent. So let me just show this one. So this is using the Cameo Silhouette. Other machines are available as well. We like the Cameo. It just works really well for us. This has got 2 layers of vinyl. Let me bring it in close to the camera so you can see that. Not so fancy zoom. So we've got a rose gold, almost like chrome effect vinyl, and then behind it we've got the matte white. The reason the white is there, it's like an offset. It's an enlarged part of the text. So this one you've done where you've created the name, and then have you just enlarged it? Or did you do the offset?
Yeah.
Offset. So there's a couple of different ways of doing it, but on the Cameo it has a lovely little tool called offset, and what it does is it just takes whatever element you've got. It could be an image or it could be some writing, and you click offset and then you get to choose, and what it does is it adds a border around everything that you do, and there's some little kind of filters on it so you can change it up to make it work how you want, but essentially you get exactly the same but a bit bigger. You cut the first one out, the smaller one in the primary colour, and then your background one, which could be any other colour you like, it doesn't really matter, but we use white on this one because it really helps to define and give us a nice clear border, because we've done it with this, well, with any of the colours really, or directly onto the spheres. And because it has that transparency, it kind of gets lost a little bit. It doesn't always stand out. So doing the two-tone really gives you that clear border to help stand out on these particular balloons. So Steph's going to use some application tape. Let's move this out of the way. So it's a
little ripped, but it'll work.
Doesn't matter. It's a reusable piece, but it doesn't go on the balloon, so it doesn't matter.
I've just done it.
Yeah, in fact, it's better to have something that's been used a few times, because you don't want it too sticky. So this is like a transfer tape. We use a semi-transparent one. It just makes it easier for going onto the design, so you know where you're going to be placing it. It wants to be sticky enough so it pulls the vinyl from the backing sheet, but it doesn't want to be overly sticky, so when you're putting it onto the sphere, you're going to end up having it stuck solid. It's a good font, this one, because it's kind of has a nice style to it, but it's not connected.
Yeah.
So it actually makes it easier for you to place it round a curved object like the spheres, because you're always going to get a bit of temperature change, which will get some little bits of bubble and lifting, but they're pretty good and very tolerant to it. But lovely, great job.
Really nice.
Steph, on this side you should put smile.
It still won't remind me. Right, I'm going to turn this around.
Oh, we've got an afternoon as well from Arkansas. Arkansas, is that how you say it? I don't know.
So I've got a mix of flowers here.
Mixture between bad accent and not wearing my glasses.
And I'm just going to place them in.
Okay. So these are just some random flowers, bits and pieces we have in our bits bag, available from various different floristry supply places or home goods stores in the UK. Different bouquets and different elements pulled apart, but then they're shortened down so they're easy to put in. Now for this particular design, because this will kind of get recycled and reused, they're just placed in there. If this was perhaps going out to a customer, yes, I got it right. Woo, I'll not try it again though, because I'll get it wrong. You could use something like the Yoo-Hoo dashes or the our glue dots, just to help make sure that it stays in place and doesn't fall out.
Yeah. I would do that, and I'd also cover the.
Yeah, so that's a really good touch. That so it's been cut short. This would have been a longer stem, but then Steph's folded that back up again.
And I would normally put a 5-inch on there just to protect the balloon.
Let me take that in closer again, because I don't know how well that shows. So it's the stem is cut shorter, and this is has a wire inside, so it's been folded round, so it gives a nicer curve onto the bottom, so it's not so aggressive going into the balloon design. And then Steph would normally then take a colour coordinated latex, so you want to make sure that it hides anything that's going inside, and then that can have that onto the base. Now, if you wanted, you can pull that in, and you could even use a part of that to then tie in if you wanted. So lots of different ways of connecting in. You've just got to sort of cross those ones off as you buy those little accessories. But what you don't want to do is damage the balloons as you put that in, because some of those flowers have quite sharp edges on those stems.
They do, yeah.
But
some of them do.
you can trim them off, fold it over, and put a balloon on just to soften that over.
This is just totally random as well. I might not like it and move them.
Yeah, well that's the great thing with it not being fixed in just yet as well. So kind of throw them in, stand back, do the squint test, make sure that it's nice and balanced, looks good. Sometimes less is more with these ones.
Yeah.
You can kind of keep adding. The best way to not put too much in is to remind yourself the cost of them, because that tends to slow you down. As you're adding them in.
They can be expensive.
They can be, the flowers really can, but there's some amazing ones.
I'm just going to leave that one like that. There.
Lovely. Now I know one person we've worked with in the past, she does an amazing job with the flowers, and she has a really wide selection. what she does is she charges a deposit alongside the design that they're buying, and they return the flowers after it's finished, so it's end of life. And she's not particularly worried about how quickly they come back. It might be, 3-4 weeks before they come back because the design's lasted, and that's absolutely fine. But she knows in, a month's time she's going to get a bag full of flowers back, and then they're going to get their deposits back as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a good way of her kind of not having to keep going out and shopping for more flowers, but it also means they're getting, really good second use of life. So really good from that side of it. But it means she can give a better finished design without having to overly charge, because if she had to charge where they were buying it, it would inflate the price to a point that may be a bit cost prohibitive. So just a nice way of working through, a way of not being restricted on how much she wants to put in that design. So
yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I really like this design. Very nice piece that's deliverable, really easy to travel with. It's a nice construction as well, and there's lots of variety that you can do with this one. So yeah, loving that one. So let's move that one out of the way,
away,
because you've got a couple of other ones to show before we disappear off for today. So let's very simply throw this one in. This is just showing one of the green ones, just to show how stark a contrast of colour we've got, with the really soft, subtle tones of the rose gold and the pink. We've got this super vibrant green one here. So we've just done a very basic base on this one, and this one you can imagine it would be amazing for St. Patrick's Day. Think of all the commercial and corporate work that you could do with this, with the personalisation and branding. Then we have a much more elegant and very cool looking. I love the font choice on this one. It absolutely works so well with the colours on this one.
Sometimes when you put the vinyl on, the glitter falls off, so it just...
Right, okay, yeah, so a really good example. So as it's been inflated, this one, the glitter's tumbled around. Twin Air Size has done a really good job of it, and it's moved it around. However, with the working of the application tape and sort of removing the static and knocking it off, it will drop back down again. So again, don't overly worry about the distribution of the glitter until you've finished.
And it doesn't take much.
No.
You just got to do this. You don't have to rub it or...
It's also one to feed back to your clients as well. It's an interactive piece. It is organic, and it will move. First time using them, customers like, oh, it's come off. What do I do? We just roll it around. And actually, we had some table centre ones, and the customers were having great fun with kind of moving them around, flicking off, and having fun. It becomes interactive, so lots of options there. But again, it's about education for your customers as well. So really like that one. And then before we go, we've got one more. So I think I'll move the desk this way because it won't fit.
Yep.
You've made it too big for the studio, Steph.
Sorry.
Let me move that. I will move that. There we go. Choo-choo along here. See how my driving of the desk is. There we go. If there's anything on the floor over there, it may be getting squashed. Yep.
Yeah, squashed.
Right. And then this is a similar concept of what you've done. However, you've added this onto a frame. Is that in shot? Let me just move that down a bit, because let me find, move the camera. See, that'll do us. No, that's worse. Let me remove the camera because we want to be able to see that, Steph.
Yep.
Otherwise, there's no point. You just chat amongst yourselves. If you want to tell some jokes or any interesting facts to share, Steph, that'd be great.
I don't know any.
You don't know any? I don't believe that. I don't. Right, okay. Right, we've now got a better view. So we've got just a basic, generic-y frame underneath this, and then you've added on some beautiful, beautiful finishes. And you've used... This got me, this one, because I thought, where is this colour in the Prima catalogue? Because I didn't think we had a purple glitter.
No, it's blue.
It's blue. Who knew? So this is blue as well. Love this. So this is actually the blue glitter, which looks more blue when it's not on this design. So it has, with the holographic-y look, like that sort of rainbow effect, it does have a little hue of purple in there. However, because of the colours that you've put into this design, this has really picked up on it. So it's took that blue and turned it purple.
I think it works really well.
I agree, because I was like,
And it
when
could
do we get these
also
purple
work with
scenes?
all the blues as well.
Yes,
in that one,
absolutely.
yeah.
You go the other way with that and add in the mixture of blues, then it'll go the other way as well. So you've got quite a few choices for that. So that I'm loving. So talk us through on this one. We've got kind of, they're in separate sections really, aren't they? So I would say that's kind of one there, is it?
Yep. This is one.
Right, okay.
And then I've just added this bit to it.
Okay.
I've only got two 18-inch in here.
Right.
I didn't think I needed anything else because it's big, but it's not
Yeah, you don't
huge.
need to kind of overly
Yeah, I
balance
think
it.
it just needed a couple. So
agree.
we've got Mystic Plum, we've got Lilac, and we've got Lavender.
Lovely.
In this side, I've added a bit of Glam Gold, just a little bit.
Right.
And then occasionally a little bit of linen. I just think it just makes it
No, I like that.
pop just
yeah,
a little
it's very,
tiny bit
very
subtle.
little amount of it, but it's just nicely balanced. I like the gold because there's a gold frame in there as well, so that's some nice touches on that. Love the mixture. Size-wise, so on this one here, you've got 3 sizes of latex. You've got the 18s, the 11s, and the 5s.
Yeah.
And 18s are size roughly to
About 12.
about 12 inch. Now, theoretically, you take 11-inch balloon up to that size. However, it's not going to give you that really full round shape, and it's
Yeah.
also going to stretch out the colour. So by using the 18 and having it downsized, nice and round, looks fab, really durable for a base of a design as well, in the fact that it's not resting on it, but it's near feet, it's near all that traffic, so that's a really sensible approach to that as well. 11-inch around, what, 7?
So, yeah, between 7, 6 and 5.
Okay, yep.
Through all of them. And then for the 5-inch, 3.5, 4, 4.5.
Yeah.
Just a
So again, sticking in that remit of size, and
Yeah.
so you've got a little bit of flexibility on it. With these ones, you're working in a scope of sizes, and it's just a little bit of kind of by eye on this one. But if you're working within a scope of size, it's giving you a really nice guide to kind of work to get the scale and balance really nicely. Lovely job with the flowers on this one as well. Not overly doing it, but it really kind of adds that element of line that brings in the design together as well. Softens up the edges of the frame, lovely, but also adds a little bit of colour and kind of give that transition around the design. So loving that.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's like magic.
Yeah. And again, the personalisation, using the offset function as well, creating the two-tone. Hard to pick up on camera here, but I can say that in the flesh it looks fantastic. If it was just one or two, like one of the colours, either one, the black or the gold, I don't believe it would stand out very well. But the two-tone on there is worthy. I mean, the vinyl cost is nothing. It really is the fact that it's just using a little bit more time to put one on top of the other. But that's it. There's no fancy technique to that. It's just as simple as that. But it's an absolutely fantastic job. Love that, Steph.
Thank you.
I think we'll get some photos tomorrow and get that thrown up on the socials and put that out there. But other than that, that is fantastic. I'm sure you agree, people, that Steph's done a fantastic job this evening. Breathing, smiling, and talking us through the design she's made. So other than that, all we have to say is thank you very much for watching. And Steph's got that little speech she's going to do now. No, she's just going to laugh and smile and say goodbye. And I'll see you on another show soon is what she's going to say.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, definitely. Ciao for now. See you
Bye.
next time.